Hello, my name is Damon Friedman, co-founder and president of SOF Missions. As a 20-year veteran within Special Operations, I've gone through many challenges due to my military service and time in combat. We felt called to start SOF Missions to serve our fellow brothers and sisters in arms, focusing on suicide prevention and resiliency. Our mission at SOF Missions is to empower warriors to find purpose and be resilient. Since 2011, when we started the organization, almost 3 million men and women have deployed to Iraq and Afghanistan. Unfortunately, the scars of war take a toll on their psychological, physical, social, and spiritual health. Many veterans feel a sense of hopelessness and a loss of purpose when they return to civilian life. They feel isolated and alone, unable to reconnect. And in the greatest of tragedies, over 20 veterans lose all hope and take their own lives. Our goal at SOF Missions is to provide veterans the tools and resources so that they don't become a statistic. We offer a unique approach to combating veteran suicide through a whole health intradisciplinary model. The Be Resilient program is a 4-pillar methodology that addresses the areas of psychological, physical, social, and spiritual wellness. We provide care through 3 delivery methods: medical clinics, retreats, and educational training. Since we started back in 2011, we have been able to reach veterans in all 50 states and have served over 3,000 veterans through the Be Resilient program. Being resilient is a multifaceted and complex issue. We know that to find a lasting solution, we have to address the whole warrior. Many challenges cannot be solved by providing the treatments and modalities of just one component, but by tackling them all. Now, we've expanded our services to include law enforcement and first responders. Together, we can make a lasting impact in the lives of warriors across the nation. To learn more, visit our website at sofmissions.org.
For your post assignment, all units proceed to your post assignment.
All right. Welcome back.
Misfit Nation. Misfit Nation. The Misfit Nation Show.
We are a show founded by a veteran and hosted by 2 veterans and a military spouse. Our mission is to get people to tell their stories to the world. If you're an author, share your tips with the Misfit Nation. If you're a musician or an actor, our audience needs to know how they too can get into the business. Coaches, we love our coaches. Come on and share your tips with the Misfit Nation to help them become better versions of themselves. If you are a corporate leader or an entrepreneur, come on and show how you did it and how hard you have fought for success. If you are a veteran, first responder, or Gold Star family, we would love to have you come on and share your story with the Misfit Nation. We always have time for you. If you're feeling down, alone, or starting to see the darkness, stop. Think about those who are around you. You are not alone. You will be missed. If you feel like your problems will be a burden to those in your inner circle or feel embarrassed, dial 988. If you are a veteran, take option 1. We need you to keep pushing forward. Don't make a permanent solution to a temporary problem. If you are a new listener, welcome to the Misfit Nation Show. Be sure to subscribe to our show on your favorite podcast app. Also on our YouTube channel at @the_Misfit Nation. Subscribe and click the bell to keep you up to date on our latest episodes and all of our news. You can also find us on Heroes Media Group and About Face Radio. Now, let's get to the show!
All right, it's Tuesday. You know what that means. It's time to pull those shoulder straps down tight. It's the heart of October. And while the temperatures are getting a little cooler, the crew is just heating up.
You're walking through a city street.
We're halfway through the month, and the stories keep getting bolder, the guests keep getting realer, and the energy keeps getting louder. This is Tuesday night. The night we shake off the stress, fire up the crowd, and remind the world what grit, laughter, and straight up truth sound like. You know what time it is. time to crank up that volume, crack a cold one, and ride that misfit wave. So let's light it up for the unstoppable duo, the masters of the mic, Steven and Jake, the ToosDay Crue.
He's Jake.
What's
up,
Steven?
Good evening, everybody. Am I hearing music in my ear? Am I the only one? Am I losing my mind?
No, I hear it too, brother. I hear it too.
Okay.
I hear it too. It's that spaced out producer we have.
I'm sitting here and I'm like, where the hell is this music coming from? I'm tapping my phone. I'm like, what the hell's going on here?
So how was your weekend?
My weekend was okay. You know, we had a little bit of rain, a little bit of wind. No damage. Nothing as bad as what they were predicting. Thank God.
Good deal.
I
We had
think
a
South
good,
Jersey got a little bit more than I did, but you know, they've dealt with that before. So
yeah, I've been kind of keeping track of it, see how y'all was doing up there. Had a pretty good weekend here. It was nice and cool. Didn't get too hot. Got a lot of sunshine. Got a lot done around here. But yeah, it's just been beautiful. Good to, hey, folks, don't be sitting around the house. Get outside, enjoy this, go somewhere, watch the leaves change, take a ride, do something, but get out of the house. The only thing that I will allow you to sit in the house for is if you are watching, let's say, Notre Dame football or NASCAR. But other than that, you know, you need to get up, get out of the house.
I just find it funny. I don't know how it is out there this time of year because I've only been in maybe once or twice around this time. But I'll go out for coffee in the morning and like shorts and a t-shirt or sweats and a t-shirt, and I see these people with jackets on and hats. It's 52 degrees. Relax. It's not that cold.
No,
My God.
it's not. It's not. Hey, let's get this thing rolling right now. The gentleman that we have coming on this evening, his name is Barry Todd. He's a self-described military brat. He was born in Millington, Tennessee, just right down the road from me right here. And in 1980, he began his military career, and he served the Army for over 2 decades. And he's been in a lot of units. He's been in Ranger units. He's been in multiple Ranger Airborne assignments. He's been in the 82nd Airborne Division. He's been in the greatest division on the planet, the 101st Airborne Division, 10th Mountain, 2nd, 24th, and in 5th Corps. And, you know, he has served our country, and he has served our country well. He's also written a book. It's called Stand Your Ground, and I'm going to let him get into that because that, folks, hold on for this story. It's an amazing story. I read a little bit about the book today and sent the link to the lady that handles all of my purchases. And I said, hey, buy this book. I definitely want to read it. And so she ordered it for me. It should be here in a couple days. So without any further ado, let's get Barry Todd in here.
Good evening, Barry.
Hello. How y'all doing?
Good evening, Barry.
Well, first off, let me apologize for being a couple minutes late. The link was not working. Thank God for my assistant there. She sent me the link, and all of a sudden I'm like, "Ooh, I'm here."
Awesome.
It's all good. You're here now, and we're going to get going from here. So that's good.
Excellent.
Yeah. Gary, I didn't give much in your bio, told a little bit about it. Why don't you tell the Misfit Nation a little bit about yourself and how we ended up where we are today?
Well, first off, the Misfit Nation is a great nation. It's a one nation under God, and I love it from the bottom of my heart. Just to give you the lowdown story, I have 5 grandparents on my mother's side that came over on the Mayflower, and that's a beautiful thing. And both of my parents served in the military, so yes, I was a military brat. I heard you earlier. So I'm not a self-described military brat. I am a military brat. And then when they divorced, I got bounced back and forth, so it's all good. And I was born in Millington, Tennessee, just outside Memphis on that wonderful naval base there when my dad was getting his commission in in the early 1960s. And from there, I moved all over the place from California to Virginia with my parents, and not any overseas. None of them were ever. I was never with them when they were overseas. And then, but 18, I graduated from Fauquier County High School in Warrington, Virginia, and I was one of them boys that came out of the country and walked in the recruiter's office, saw a picture of a Ranger up there with a 120-foot rappel rope over his shoulder, holding an M14, and said, "I want to do that right there." And he said, "Boy, I got the perfect thing for you." And that was the first great decision that God led me to. The second one was meeting my wife in 1985, who I've been married to for over 40 years now. And we have 3 wonderful children and 4 grandchildren. I served my military, our country in the United States Army Rangers for almost 21 years, right around 21 years. And I retired in 2001. Went to work for a civilian financial advisory firm, started my own company in 2008, and now it's a national company, thank God. God has really, truly blessed me. And that's pretty much it right there. I live in Yuma, Tennessee, and you know just about everything about me. I'm a pretty simple man.
All right. All right. Now, do you still live, like when you're in Tennessee, you still live up there around Millington?
No, I actually live over on the east side. I love them hills. And my wife, that wonderful woman she's from Roanoke.
Okay.
All right. So we have a wonderful place in Greenville, Tennessee. We go up there, and some great friends of ours that take care of the property when we're not there. We spend a lot of time there in the summer because it gets a little bit too hot in Yuma, Arizona. And
Yes.
then in the winter, we stay in Yuma because it gets a little bit too cold up there in Tennessee Hills.
I understand. I understand. Well, the Army sent me to Fort Campbell on my last tour of duty. And so I retired and I stayed here.
Oh, that's a big, I love Fort Campbell. I mean,
a lot of people stay around Clarksville. I moved west. I live about halfway between Paducah and Clarksville, and I love it out here.
Well, you come out of that southern gate of Fort Campbell, which is on the Tennessee side.
Mm-hmm.
And the days when I was there, the officer club was right there. So I could go in there because I got a commission later on in my career, and I would walk out of there and just walk down the road about 3/4 of a mile, and I'd be at my house on Kings Deer Lane, right outside Fort Campbell there.
Nice. Nice. Right out by gate 1.
Yes.
Yes. So you got your book, and I tell you what, I read the circumstances with what brought you to write that book, and I was kind of undecided what to talk about this evening. Talk about your financial services stuff or talk about the book, but I think we're going to talk about the book because
I think that's a good idea.
A lot of our listeners, I am sure, carry, and I do believe that there's information that you have that everybody, I don't care whether you carry or not, everybody needs to know this information. So go ahead and lay the groundwork of what the event that got you to write the book, and then we'll talk about the book.
All right. Thank you, Jake. The key thing is that everybody needs to understand, and this book is for everybody, especially if you think in this country you are still presumed innocent until proven guilty. That is no longer the case. You are 100% guilty until proven innocent. My wife and I, in the simplest terms I can put it, my wife and I were out with 4 other retired military couples. We were threatened, and then I was attacked, not once, but twice by 2 men. The entire thing was on video. And when the police showed up, I was the one arrested and indicted with no investigation, no probable cause. And I went through 2.5 years of hell clearing the charges off of me, and then another 5 years of clearing my name. It was unbelievable. I even to this day, I cannot believe it. You know, I served this country for 2 decades in places that would make a billy goat puke. Mm-hmm. And yet I turn around and I come back, and literally the lead police detective looked at me 4 hours after the incident happened. I told him what happened. He comes in, he goes, "Sign here." I said, "I told you I don't have my glasses on. I can't read. These are my glasses here, just in case you want me to read something." And I said, "I can't read that. I don't have my glasses." He goes, I go, "What is it?" He goes, "It's a charge form." I said, "You're charging me for what?" I told you it was self-defense. He goes, "Well, we have the whole thing on video." And I said, "Have you looked at the video?" And his exact words to me were, "Not yet." And my Ranger instructor, Ranger time in the military, came out, and I looked at him. I said, "Oh, you're a real intelligent life form. The oxygen is just flowing to your brain." And I'll let the rest of the words go from there. And the funny thing is, it never went to trial. He got sent back to the grand jury 4 times because the prosecutor, due to his malicious prosecution, refused to show the video to the grand jury.
Why wouldn't they show the evidence? I don't understand that.
Because it would have made him look innocent, probably.
Correct. Yeah. Exactly. And the judge kept ordering him to. He wouldn't present the appropriate self-defense charges. When you read the book, Stephen, you're going to be shocked. My lead investigator, who I love to death, he owns a bar now. And he was able to buy the bar because he made so much money off of me. And he'll look at you and he'll say, "That's partially true." He looked at me and he said, "You know, this thing is not like a Perry Mason movie, Barry. This is going to be slow. That's going to ongoing." The day that I was cleared and the charges were dismissed with prejudice, he walked up to me and he goes, "You know, I told you at the beginning of this thing, it's not like a Perry Mason movie or show or Matlock." He goes, "But only you could turn it into a Perry Mason or Matlock." And when you read the book, you're going to be shocked at the number of issues that just happen. It to this day, it still shocks me to my core.
Okay, so I got to cut you off for a second there. You said that the charges were dismissed with prejudice.
Yes.
So 10 years from now, they could charge you with this again.
No, with prejudice means they can't.
Okay. I got that backwards. I apologize.
That means that the video evidence was so overwhelming to the eyewitness testimony that they couldn't refute it.
And don't they have to disclose that evidence to your attorney?
You know what's funny, Jake? You're going to love this. We got the videos from them. We got the videos from the Yuma Police Department.
Wow.
That's what blows your mind. All we did was we gave them to an FBI video forensics expert because there were 16 cameras in and around the building.
Mm-hmm.
There was 160 hours. They took it and ran it like a movie. All the different camera angles and everything. And there was never a time that I wasn't on video except for a 5-second block. And it's like, holy cow. And they never looked at them before they charged me. Never.
Wow.
Open and closing, they had in their mind, I guess. Oh, this is done. It's easy. Yeah.
And they do this all over America. Look at Daniel Penny.
Yeah. Now,
Daniel
do I get a
Penny,
guess? Do I get a guess at the political affiliation of the prosecutor?
I don't know what the political affiliation was.
Oh, okay.
To be honest with you, I truly don't know. But what I learned through the process was that, number one, a grand jury, you can indict a ham sandwich in a grand jury. I don't care who you are, you can indict a ham sandwich. So after this happened to me, and then they come out with 91 charges against Trump over 4 different investigations, federal charges, felony charges, excuse me. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. This is all rigged. So let's go back to Daniel Penny. Everybody knew the day of the incident when it was broadcast, Stephen and Jake, all over the internet, all over social media, that he was justified in his actions. He did not try to hurt him. He just said he was threatening the people on the subway in New York, for your listeners that don't know about the story. All right. And he restrained him. He didn't die till 10 minutes later after the police showed up. But when Alvin Bragg took it to the grand jury, do you think he showed those videos from the people that were on there or brought any of them as witnesses?
Nope.
No. See, most people in the United States don't understand how a grand jury works. There's no defense. There's no prosecutor. It is no defense, no judge. The prosecutor, it's his playground. He has 100% control. He can do everything. And it's bad. It's bad. I mean, think about that, Jake. I went to 4 grand juries. 4.
Probably because he wasn't getting the answer he wanted out of.
Yeah, he would get the answer that he wanted, but then the judge would get it. My attorneys would get the grand jury transcripts, and then my attorney would look around and say, again, he didn't present the videos. Again, he did not present the appropriate self-defense laws for Arizona. And the judge would look at it and say, did you do this? And every time he would give an excuse, a lame excuse, and the judge would look at him and say, well, then you did not present this exculpatory evidence. Send it back. And he would have to take it back to the grand jury. It was crazy.
After they charged you, did they, were you released, or did you have to wait, get arraigned for bail? How did all that work?
Oh, no, I spent 5 days in jail. I had a concussion, broken rib, broken arm. I got no medical attention, and it was a $500,000 cash only bond.
Wow.
So for all you people out there that don't know what that means, your listeners, let me tell you something. That means you got to come up with $500,000 in cash.
Now, speaking of that, I carry all the time, and I carry $1 million worth of legal insurance. Is that something that you recommend, or what are your thoughts on that?
Great question. Number one, yes. That's the number one thing I would do, is make sure you have appropriate coverage, whether it's through the NRA, Delta Defense, it doesn't matter. Make sure you have appropriate insurance. And I'll tell you right now, on the criminal side, they're only going to give you about $250,000 to $300,000. So be ready.
Okay.
On the civil side, you'll be good. But then most people don't realize that on the civil side of that insurance, your homeowner's insurance covers you anywhere in the world. All right. Because those two huckabucks, they sued me.
Oh, I'm sure they did.
Oh, yeah. And all I did was call my homeowner's insurance, and they took care of all of that. With that, number two that saved me was my faith in God. All right. Hands down, my belief that right was going to prevail would carry me. And then lastly was my Ranger training. The training that I had in the military that taught me that you do not give up the ship. You just don't. You just hang in there. If you believe you were right, you do the honorable thing, and you stand by your convictions, and you do what was right.
Okay, and I tell you what, Barry, I'm glad, I'm happy everything worked out for you. And you mentioned something, your belief and your faith in God. That right there, I believe, will get you through anything. If you turn it over to Him, good things are going to happen. And I'm glad you did that, and I'm glad that everything come out your way on this. So the situation, if you can just, I know that you went into the situation, kind of what happened. Can you kind of just walk through? So you walked out of the restaurant, you were accosted by two people, and then things went south from there.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think I was reading one of them had a knife, or did both of them? Okay.
One of them pulled a knife.
And I remember reading whenever everything kind of went down and you kind of fell together, what did you tell the guy that you eventually shot?
I looked at him, I said, this is going to suck for both of us.
That right there, that was
that. I said, this is going to suck for both of us.
That kind of stuck out in my mind.
Yeah. It was funny when I went into the court hearings, the prosecutor tried to use my Ranger training, saying I didn't need to pull my gun. And he kept bringing that up. And finally, my attorney got up there and said, Your Honor, Mr. Todd is a retired United States Army Ranger. He was not trained to maim somebody. He was trained to kill him. And he told these young men, because they were both 20 years younger than me, he didn't want to fight. He was too old to get into a barroom fight. He wasn't going to do this. And but they were set on setting me up. And to this day, I don't know why. But the point of that is that you don't know when it's going to come at you. And you got to be ready. You have to be ready. And because there's a lot of crazy people out there. Look at what's going on in Portland, Chicago, Los Angeles. It doesn't matter what part of the country you're in. You have to be prepared. And
yes.
And I'm going to be prepared. And it worked out well. And I want all your listeners to know that I'm doing well. I probably altogether, if you consider the time value of money, I probably lost somewhere between $8 and $12 million by the time this is done. But the reality is that that's not, money comes and goes. That's not your true legacy. The true legacy is being able to help people. And
yes.
And so all the profits from the book are going to a foundation that my wife, my legal team, and I started called Defense Resources Foundation. And we're going to start helping the Daniel Pennies across the country. the Kyle Rittenhouses, the George Stratmans in East Arizona, people that are wrongfully indicted because they lived within their constitutional rights, and it shouldn't happen that way.
Yeah, that's amazing. I know that the trend now is, look at the assassin that killed the insurance CEO. Immediately after he did that, he had a GoFundMe set up for his defense, and for cold-blooded murder.
Yep.
And they're looking for ways to get him out of it. But if you exercise your constitutional right, it seems like that they want to just jump, the anti-gun lobby or whatever it is wants to jump in there and take away all your rights. We've got a question here that come in from one of the viewers. This is user bunch of numbers. I'm not going to go through all those numbers. Thank you for this question. What inspired you to write Stand Your Ground, and what do you hope your readers take away from it? Thank you for that question.
Great question. The first one is when I first got charged, I was raped, for lack of a better word. I was prosecuted in the media throughout the Southwest United States. From Phoenix to Yuma over to San Diego. It was a horrible event. My kids tried to defend me on Facebook and everything else, and I'm like, you can't defend idiocy. Just let it go. And so it was an opportunity for me now that, because it didn't take me two and a half years just to get out of it. It took me another 5 years to clear my record, because I own a national financial advisory firm, as you were talking about earlier, Jake.
Mm-hmm.
That charge, it took me 5 years to get it, after I was cleared, to get it off my disclosures, because you're automatically presumed guilty by the regulators in the United States.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter whether you were innocent or not. That doesn't matter. The moment you're charged, it has to go on all disclosures, even if it has nothing to do with your industry. And so the reason I wrote the book was, one, to get the word out of what's going on across the country, and two, also for me to settle it within my own spirit, to get the truth out there. I have a legacy that I'm trying to leave for my children of a man of God, country, and family. And I'm not going to let anybody jeopardize that. I have my own issues that I deal with my own sins, and I answer to God for those. But we all do. Mm-hmm. That being said, I always tried to live by that code: God, country, family. And then the second part of that question, I can't remember what it was completely. What I hope to get out of it, I believe that's what it read.
What do you hope they get out of it?
I want to raise as much money as I can. If we could get $5 million or more from the profits of this book, we will be able to help out Americans throughout the country and not worry about having to ask for money or anything. We can just, we've created a complete vetting system in the Defense Resources Foundation, where we're just not giving money to people like the young man, I don't even want to say his name, that shot the United Healthcare CEO. That's not the type of person we're trying to defend. We're trying to defend the Daniel Pennies, the Kyle Rittenhouses, the ones that should have never been indicted in the first place. It should have gone to the grand jury and never come out of the grand jury.
Mm-hmm.
And we want to get back to that point because all the other foundations out there, from everything that we looked at when we decided to go down this route, it helped. All of them tried to help them after they were charged and convicted. What the hell does that do? You need to get the money in front of them before they're completely convicted. It makes no sense to have money in front of them or after they're convicted. It just doesn't make sense.
Right.
Yeah.
We have another question that came in. It's not about the book. At Bellamy for Count wants to know, how did your experience as a ranger shape your views on leadership and responsibility? Thank you, Bellamy for Count.
Okay, great question. The best way I can answer that is do what is legal, ethical, and morally acceptable. And my morals come from the Holy Bible. That's what I was taught in the military. That's what I live by. You do not, and then the most important character trait that I learned was honor. Honor is a lost art. Everybody focuses on the first sentence of the Declaration of Independence, but how many people focus on the last sentence? All right. I challenge all of your readers to go and read the last sentence of the Declaration of Independence. It talks about God. It talks about their fortunes. It talks about their lives. And then the last thing it talks about is their sacred honor. And most young folks today, especially people that were raised with the Department of Education in place, have no clue what the definition of honor is. Well, let me give you the simplest definition that my mother and my father taught me when I was a very young man. Honor is doing the right thing no matter the cost. Not the right thing when no one's looking. That's easy, because you can do the right thing and still not, when no one's looking, and still have honor or still live. But that doesn't mean you're honorable. All right. Honor is doing the right thing no matter the cost. It might cost you your life, which is what most people relate it to, being in the military. All right. But civilians deal with it every day. Do you challenge dishonorable situations that you see around you? Do you call it out? It might cost you your career. It might cost you your livelihood. It might cost you the lives of your family and your children. But you should still do it, because there's only one being you're going to answer to, and that's the Holy Trinity.
Yes. Yes, it is. Well,
so I
folks,
hope that answered that person's question.
I'm sure it did. It answered it for me. So, hey, we're going to take just a quick pause right here, and I'm going to make my public service announcement. If you're joining us late, Misfit Nation, for the ToosDay Crue, we are talking with Barry Todd. He is the author of Stand Your Ground. Talks about his experience dealing with the legal system after a self-defense situation. And also, if you're out there this evening, you're feeling the darkness, you don't think that you can make it another day, get on that phone, pick it up, dial 988. If you're a veteran, take option 1. Somebody there will talk to you, get you the help that you need. I know personally that this works. Not for me. It was for someone that I love dearly. They had to pick up that phone, and they had to call, and it got them the help that they needed. So do that, please, because tomorrow is too beautiful a day for you not to be in it with us. If you don't want to pick up that phone, if you don't want to call, email us, Jake@themisfitnation.com, Stephen@themisfitnation.com, or info@themisfitnation.com. Leave your name and number. We'll call you back. I've got these two big jug handles sitting on the side of my head. They're good for listening. We will listen to you, and we will try to get you the help that you need, because again, we love you. We want you to be here and enjoy everything
Amen.
this world has to offer. So just remember that, and do not make a permanent solution to a temporary problem. Thank you. All right. Sorry about that.
But you're good, brother.
Now,
going back to the incident in New York, the quote unquote choking out on the train. How do we change the media, which is what pushed out that that's all that happened? Because I live in New Jersey, and that's all I heard over and over and over. And how do we change the judicial system where you can go to a grand jury and just say, okay, he did it, and all right, they're guilty, send him away? How do we change any of that? The media shows you what they want to show you, and not the whole damn story, and then none of the stories told to the grand jury. You know, how do you get justice in life that way? Because they're not helping anybody. You know, like I said, I live in New Jersey, and that's all I heard. He choked the guy out, and that was it. Not he died 10 minutes later. Not he died after this. All I heard was he choked him out. You know, how do we change that?
Great question. I've had a million suggestions as I was writing the book. And what I learned is that each state, Stephen, has their own laws. And because of the differences in the laws within each state, I recommend we go through it state by state. In Arizona, I'm pushing our legislators to do two things. Number one, do like Connecticut and Philadelphia have done. They've pretty much eliminated the grand jury, or Pennsylvania. They've pretty much eliminated the grand jury. Connecticut doesn't do a grand jury at all anymore. Everything goes to a preliminary hearing. And do you know the difference between a preliminary hearing and a grand jury?
No.
Do you, Jake?
I'm going to try to take a stab at this. Grand jury, you've just got the prosecutor and you've got the grand jury, and he goes in there and he does what he does.
Correct.
Preliminary hearing, both sides can present their sides of the case, and then the judge decides whether or not they're going to move forward with prosecution.
Correct. Whether there's probable cause.
Yes.
That means probable cause is a subjective standard in all cases. Whether you're federal, state, it's a subjective standard. Probable cause means, in the eyes of the law, is there a 51% chance or greater that you committed the crime or not? And that's all the grand jury is supposed to determine. Literally, that's all, because a grand jury is not unanimous. A grand jury only has to be 51%. And so that's how the whole process works. Well, in a preliminary hearing, instead of bringing in 16 novice grand jurors, you have one judge. The prosecution presents their case. The defense is able to counter, and if necessary, present their own case against it. And then the judge, because he knows the laws, not just one law that the prosecutor is feeding a grand jury. Because see, that's what happens in a grand jury. The grand jury goes in and the prosecution immediately tells them the laws that they need to review. Well, in my case, he left out 6 freaking laws.
Yep.
That dealt with self-defense in Arizona. He presented what is called an affirmative defense. Well, Arizona is no longer an affirmative defense state. We're a justification defense. And These people don't know that. Justification. Do you guys know the difference between affirmative defense and justification?
I do not. Please explain it.
Most people call them the castle doctrine, stand your ground laws.
Okay.
All right. It's really, the legal term is justification defense. In the old days, up until about 20, 25 years ago, if you claimed self-defense, you had to prove self-defense. But the people that were prosecuting you weren't out to hang you to make them look good in the public eye. Because you got to remember, prosecutors are elected. They're not appointed.
Mm-hmm.
You with me?
Yep.
All right. So that's a fallacy in the system. So Arizona, like Florida and so many other states, passed laws that allowed you to say, yes, I did that, but I was justified in doing that because of X, Y, or Z. Justification defense laws. Arizona has several of those. The first one is 13-421, which says I'm allowed to defensively display my firearm if I feel that my property is being taken, I'm being physically assaulted, I'm in fear, or I'm trying to go someplace, or you come on my property and I warn you to get off, or if I'm trying to go any place in the state where I'm legally allowed to go and you're preventing me from going there.
Okay.
All right. I am justified in displaying my firearm in a manner of defense.
And I just gotta, okay, if I was a bad guy, I come upon you and you brandish your firearm to me, I'm going to go find somebody else. I'm sorry.
Exactly. But these two knuckleheads, when I brandished it, they attacked me. They were drunk off their ass and they attacked me. I was holding a .357 snub nose Ruger snub nose with hollow points. I'm like, you got to be fucking kidding me. I mean, I'm like, and I warned them. I said, and they had already assaulted me once. They had already picked me up and thrown me headfirst into a cinder block wall before I ever brandished my firearm.
Wow. And our producer stuck a thing in here about the Tennessee grand jury. Says that they do not have a prosecutor sitting on it. The officer who had the interaction with the accused or a representative they know comes in and provides the case, and then the volunteer lead the grand jury, and then the grand jury then votes yay or nay to indict. No attorneys or judges are present. So I think they just get, but then
again, if you have a lead detective
who didn't do his job,
or if he was like mine was honest as hell, but he was incompetent as hell. I mean, imagine an investigator standing in front of you, Jake and Stephen, and he stands there and says to you, yeah, we have the whole thing on video. Have you looked at it? Not yet. Oh my gosh. Are you intelligent life form, or did the oxygen just cut off from your brain? I mean, you can't imagine how I felt that early Saturday morning on March 1st, 2014. I damn near lost my mind on him.
Now, I don't want to throw anything out there, but that probably didn't win you many points.
No, it didn't. No, it didn't. Because I went all Ranger on him. I went all Ranger on him.
All right, we have another question coming in.
Are they still listening to us?
Oh,
yes,
yeah, they're still listening.
I love balls.
Want to pause or something?
I love balls.
No,
Wants to know, how do you define standing your ground in today's fast-changing society? Thank you, love your balls.
Great question. For me, I'm going to go back to what John Wayne said in the movie The Shootist. I know if any of your listeners are listening to John Wayne, go watch the movie The Shootist. Great movie. And he said, I will not be insulted. I will not be laid hands on. All right. Now, that doesn't mean you're going to immediately pull out your gun. I didn't do that. I was literally assaulted, thrown headfirst into a cinder block wall. And then my wife was threatened that she was not going to go home with me and they were going to have their way with them, or they were going to have their way with her. And that's when I said, understand, I'm armed. And that's when they said, pull your gun. Okay, we'll pull the gun. I mean, I went through all the steps. So that's my definition. And in reality is we're too soft on society today. We're too concerned about the gun and not worried about the moral character of the person or the people that are coming up in our society today.
Bingo.
That's my personal perception there. That's my personal beliefs. Guns are not bad. Everybody wants to pass all these laws to limit gun rights. Well, the only person you're trying to limit gun rights to is the bad guys. But the only ones that obey the laws are the good guys.
Yes.
The bad guys, they didn't get the guns legally in the damn first place. It's like, holy shit.
Yeah. And as a carrier myself, I always try and your situation looked like everything kicked off pretty fast. They were intent on doing what they were going to do. I try to de-escalate if possible and keep everything left of the bang. But there's times
away from the guy 3 times, Jake.
Yep. And
3 times I told him I did not want to fight. I'm going to have a good time. You have a good night. And he followed me. He followed me from inside after he threatened me in there and then followed me out to the parking lot. And all I did was go outside to get a can of Copenhagen. I just went outside to get a can of Copenhagen. It's like, what the hell?
Yes. I don't know.
We have one last question coming in. I'm sorry, Jake. I don't mean to cut you off.
No, that's okay. Go ahead, Stephen.
Jewel Denial 2, what challenges did you face transitioning from military life to civilian sector?
Oh, dang, another good question. Wow, that person must be military or something. The hardest one, I would say, is understanding that civilians, employees in my workplace have feelings. In the Rangers, we didn't care about your feelings. I hate to tell you, I could care less how you felt. I was there to defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic. And if your feelings got in the way of that, I didn't issue your wife. I didn't issue your kids. I didn't issue your dog. All right. So those were things as I became transitioning into civilian life were harsh. I remember when I first went into my first very temporary employment before I went on the financial services side. I was heading there anyway, but the first few weeks I was in that job, I was the general manager of this place. And I had this wonderful operations manager. He reported directly to me. And then I had multiple supervisors, and I was having my second meeting. And I only had 2 females in it. And I laid out what the law was. This is what was going to happen. And the 2 females got up, ran into the bathroom crying. And I looked at Bill and I said, Bill, I said, what the hell is going on here? And he looks at me and goes, dude, you can't talk like that out here. This is not the military. So that was my biggest issue. I will tell you my son's biggest issue, who's a disabled combat vet. He was the only survivor of a 6-man team on April 14th, 2009. He dealt with a lot of why am I here? I dealt with that too. The military popped him onto a lot of drugs, and then me and my brother went in and poured him all down the toilet and said, you need to get off this stuff. And we took him downrange and got him right with his soul, understanding what God's purpose was for him. And he's doing great now.
Awesome. That is awesome. Stephen, we want to do this last one real quick.
It's up to you. We can keep going.
Yeah, pop it in there.
All right. Men Not Pause wants to know, what advice would you give to young veterans or entrepreneurs looking to lead with purpose? Thank you for that question, Men Not Pause.
Number one is put God in the forefront of everything you do. Because at the end of the day, the only true legacy you leave is your children. It's not about the money. It's all about helping other people. And if you're focused on God, you're going to be helping other people. Number two, lead with honor. Do the right thing no matter the cost. And that's a beautiful thing when you think about it. God led with honor. One of his parables that Jesus talked about is, the guy sitting on the fence. You can't sit on the fence. You're either with me or against me. There is no sideline. And that's the thing I loved about Charlie Kirk. I mean, I watched his video for years. My son is going to church every weekend now. And, just because of Charlie Kirk, even though he had turned away from God for a while, he didn't really turn away. He was just trying to find his own path. But now he goes every weekend. And he did it because of watching Charlie Kirk. He's in his 30s and he's doing great. And he just realized that, it's not about me. It's about advancing God's kingdom and helping other people. And when you give like that, you give with no thoughts, just your heart. And then you do the honorable thing, God gives it back tenfold. He will grow your company. And then last but not least, if you want direction on that, one thing, read the book Traction. It's the greatest entrepreneurial book that I've ever read. It will really grow your company to start getting there. But don't forget those first two I told you about. God and honor, and use the book Traction to implement that, and you'll be great.
All right. Sounds like wise words. Barry, we're getting ready to wrap it up here. Got a couple more questions for you. One is, if somebody wants to contact you do a speaking engagement or contact you about the book, how do we do that?
You can email me at barry@standyourgroundbook.com. That's barry@standyourgroundbook.com. Also, please ask all your listeners to go out there, order the book. You can go to standyourgroundbook.com. You can order it on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, or directly from Dorrance. All proceeds from the book are going to the foundation. We're excited. We're selling a lot of books. I mean, heck, one ad I got going around on Facebook's already hit over 1 million views. We were a bestseller at the end of June on Amazon. So rock it. Let's just do this. And let's start helping other Americans. Let's set the record straight.
All right. Now comes the last question. What are 3 non-negotiables for Barry every day?
Number one,
or your day is not complete.
Number one is God. I got to do that every day. I wake up every morning and I do my Bible study, my devotional. Number two is working out. I got to get my workout. I mean, I'm 63 years old. I work out 5-6 days a week. And number three is spending time with my wife, sitting on the couch between 5 and 6. Those other two I've already done before she gets up, because I go to bed at between 9, 10, 10:30 at the latest. And then I'm up with her. We sit around and have coffee between 5 and 6 and just talk about life and kids and all that stuff. It's got to be in that order. There's one commandment out there that talks about nations, and that's part of honoring your father and your mother. All of us have issues with all of our parents out there, but remember, no matter what the issues are, honor them.
Yes,
because they've already been where you're at. All right, and they've already walked in your shoes. That doesn't mean you have to agree with them. That doesn't even mean you have to like them. All right, but honor them by spending time with them, talking to them, listening to them, and then turning around. Because if you do that, nations will prevail.
Yes, they will. And Barry, we thank you for coming on this evening. This has been a great chat. A lot of good information out there. And I want to wish you the best of luck with your endeavor, getting your foundation up and running to where you can help people defend themselves against, with the law, if they're ever in a situation like yours. And hey, if you ever have any success stories with that, feel free to reach back out to us and we'll get them on here if they want to talk about it.
Love to. God bless you.
Bless you all, and bless the Misfit Nation.
All right. Thank you.
Good night, everybody. Barry, thank you.
Thanks for checking us out and being a part of the Misfit Nation show. Don't forget to visit our website at themisfitnation.com. That's themisfitnation.com. Check out all our past episodes and get some of the great Misfit Nation gear for you and your family. As always, be humble, stay hungry, and keep hustling, because we are
Misfit Nation. Misfit Nation.